Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video by me, Charlie Veach. Let me just straighten this thing out. Today, in this nice grey, 0 degrees centigrade, dark grey Manchester day, I want to walk around Ancoats here. This is a kind of very futuristic, in a derelict kind of way area. I want to talk about a few reasons why I think Manchester is much cooler and much better than London. The first reason is a very simple one, is that Manchester is about maybe 2/3 cheaper, maybe at least 50% cheaper in everything, in bills and accommodation. The second thing that I think Manchester is a lot cooler than London is how in this city, like you've got the city centre down there, it's about 5 minutes walk, and then going out that way, that's already exiting the city centre, that's 5 minutes walk that way. You can get anywhere in central Manchester in about 10-15 minutes walking. You don't need to get the bus, you don't need to take the pram. Pram? Babyhead, not a pram, the tram. Another reason why Manchester is a much cooler city than London is that this is actually still England. This is still Great Britain, whereas London, kind of like Shanghai or Beijing or Milan or Paris or New York, London's an international city. London is a global city, a kind of launch pad for billionaires and playboys from all over the world, whereas Manchester here is still England. And I say this without any sprinkling of anti-immigration or anti-bullshit, because this is a very cosmopolitan city here. One thing I love about Market Street is the exciting black musicians, the African guys, and all that stuff. Another reason why Manchester is cooler than London is this fusion of dereliction with the ultra-modern. And I'll walk around and you'll see here we're in Ancoats. And the particular thing I like about Manchester, which I hope this little street here will give you an idea, is just how quiet it is when it is not a Friday or Saturday night. There's some more new buildings being built over there. Speaking of Friday and Saturday night, last night was Saturday night. I was walking around and it's very hedonistic here in this city. There's a strange climate thing in Manchester that people from the northwest will understand. It's that it rains a lot during the day, in the mornings and the afternoons, and then come around sunset, it seems to get very bright for some reason. This is some strange meteorological condition of the northwest. And what you have here are kind of usually quite clear, rain-free evenings. And in the evenings, that's when all the kids come out to play. And I say kids because they're younger than me. I'm 33. These are people from, say, 16 through to 30 or whatever. You know, I should maybe start going out again. But what's cool about Manchester is that A, it's a student city. It has probably one of the biggest student populations in the country. And B, everyone is really up for it hedonistically on a Friday or Saturday night. In fact, every single night here in good old Manchester. Is that an Italian flag? This is the first time I see this graffiti, guys. I haven't walked around Ancoats very much, so I'm gonna give you a little look around. Another reason why Manchester is better than London is that here, the cannabis, the marijuana, the skunk is grown by aficionados, by hobby people. In London, it's mostly Vietnamese gangs that have basements or attics and they grow stuff for profit. Of course, here the Salford and Manchester gangsters obviously do it for profit. Why would you sell weed? Why would you take the risk if you're not gonna get, if you're gonna make some money? But the cannabis in Manchester is, I would say, it rivals the quality of what you buy in Holland and Amsterdam. And it's very strong, it's very affordable. And recently in the Manchester Evening News, you can look this up on the internet. In fact, when we're talking about cannabis, can you get me a Henry, please, sir? Just a Henry, for the international audience, an eighth, that's about 3.5 grams, traditionally costs £20 in the UK, and we say it's a Henry the eighth, eighth of an ounce. Yep, Manchester is the cannabis capital of the UK in terms of seizures of cannabis by the police, and that's quite sad. Why are the police seizing a plant? Because they're victims of the system, much like anyone else. But we're seeing now, the complete mainstreamization of cannabis. It's legal now for... Anyway, one thing that's always good fun. Check this out. Right. This is channel that changes. You get a lighter, and this is a working lighter. Okay, it's not a working lighter, but anyway, check this out. Let's see if we can pop this. Did you hear that? Anyway, all over America, well, Denver is now legal for recreational cannabis, and we all know, because we're all adults here, that of course a plant cannot be against any normal law or against any ethical proposition by man or woman. It's just a slightly deranged control freakery of the past, the kind of neo-Calvinism of trying to control people and tell them what to do. That cannabis is illegal, unfortunately, but I don't know a single person who wants to smoke weed and doesn't because it's illegal. Oh my God, it's illegal, I better not smoke it. So these, my viewer, male friends, female friends, are the reasons why Manchester. Oh yeah, and how could I forget one last thing before I come around this corner here. Nice quiet Ancoats. What's down there? Let's see what's down there. Just nice, somber, moody Manchester. The final reason why Manchester is much cooler than London is that I've not been arrested up here. I've caused all sorts of problems and panics and bullshit here in Manchester, and the police are just more wise, more relaxed, more human, whereas down in London they seem to be infected with that Jason Bourne saving the world from the terrorists, let's beat down anyone who isn't a city boy worker, let's fucking shit on the black people. Whereas in Manchester, you don't get arrested for simple things like megaphoning or causing shit in shops. You don't get like bothered as much. And so the main reason why I'm doing this video, and we're coming up to 7.5 minutes again, is because I want all you London people who are disillusioned with paying £2,000 a month, disillusioned with spending an hour underground in an overpaid tube, paying first world prices for third world services. Ladies and gentlemen, just move to Manchester. I mean, apart from the things I've said, I need people to make videos with. I need new friends. And everyone I know is down in London. And I moved here for love. I moved here for family. I moved here for Henry. And on that note, you know, because it's always important to end the video on something pretty, let's come to the locks here, to these nice industrial warehouses. Check that out. Mills from the 18th century. As we come down, we have a look at the river. And there you go. We'll zoom in on the geese. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening.